بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ما بعد. From the methodology of Ahlul Hadith wal Athar is that the Muslim, when it becomes apparent to him that he has erred, that he returns back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from that error, that he rectifies himself. From the methodology of Ahlul Hadith wal Athar is that the Muslim, when it becomes apparent to him that he has erred, he hastens towards rectification. Especially if that error is related to the deen. Mutlaqan, you need to rectify yourself. And you strive your utmost best to rectify this error with regards to all those who heard it from you. Especially if it is in the explanation of the Quran, or in a hukm shari'i, or in a hadith. Then it is important that the believer rectifies himself, and that he does not persist upon his error. This is the way of Ahlul Hadith wal Athar, that they are humble. They are a people of humility. Because when the haqq reaches you and you reject it, you have not established at-tawadu' ma'allah, but rather you were arrogant. The Prophet ﷺ, he says, in defining kibr, he says, al-kibru batrul haqq wa ghamtun nas. Kibr is that you reject the truth and you think you are better than other people. This is kibr. And we all know the famous hadith that the one who has the smallest amount of kibr within his heart, that he will not enter Jannah. If he's a believer, then he will not enter Jannah dukhulan awwaliyan. Rather he will go, he's tahta mashi'atillah. He's under the will of Allah. If Allah wills, Allah forgive him. If Allah wills, Allah punish him. So the Salafi, he is humble. And when he made this mistake, he makes it a point so that rectification, it reaches the people. Because in that lies his najat, his success. He will save himself, free himself from kibr. Even though if you truly make a mistake, you are forgiven. Inna Allah tajawaza an ummati, as in the hadith, and Allah has forgiven my ummah from mistakes, nisyan wa mustukrihu alayh, or Ibn Majah, from mistakes and forgetfulness and what they are forced into, life and death situation. But you safeguard yourself, because it's obligatory upon you to not spread fasad in this dunya. People will act upon your error, what you have conveyed, what you have said. And after it becomes apparent to you that you made a mistake and you keep quiet, then that is from kitmanul ilm. And the Prophet ﷺ, he says, whosoever man katama ilman, whosoever conceals a knowledge, then that individual, he will be bridled under the qiyamah with the bridle of fire. So the way of Ahlul Hadith wal Athar is that we are not arrogant. We are humble. When we err, we make a mistake, we rectify ourselves. We rectify ourselves. I remember attending the dars of Shaykh Muhsin al-Abbad, حفظه Allah, in the Sharh of Sahih Muslim. And when he spoke about the taqqim, he said that the works of Fuad Abdul Baqi, Muhammad Fuad Abdul Baqi, and this is غير متقن. And then the following day, the Shaykh Hafidhahullah, he came and he said that that was a mistake from me, waham. I made a mistake in front of hundreds of people in the haram. I made a mistake. In fact, it is a amal mutqin. It's a good work. And when you have this within you, the people will love you more. Because in no way should you claim kamal. Al-kamalu lillah. As a youth, you feel that everything that you do, it must be perfect. Because you are deceived, you think that everything needs. No, al-kamalu lillah. وبالمناسبة, I was honored with a ta'liq from one of our mashayikh of Ahl Sunnah within South Africa, saying that the nasiha that we spoke about, أول العلم النية والاستماع ثم الاستماع إلى آخره, that this is a beneficial reminder for the beginner student, for the one who starts off in seeking knowledge, but a great reminder for the one who's already far in his path of seeking knowledge. And then the Shaykh Hafidhahullah said that I need to recheck, I need to revisit the translation of the ayah, which we have mentioned in our previous dars. Where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّمَا وَلِيُّكُمُ اللَّهُ وَرَسُولُهُ, that indeed only your protector is Allah. وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, and those who believe. And the believers, they are those الَّذِينَ يُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ وَيُؤْتُونَ الزَّكَاةَ وَهُمْ راكعون. They are those who establish the salah and they pay the zakah. Whilst they are raki'un, they are people of prostration. وَمَنْ يَتَوَلَّ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ, and whomsoever befriends Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His messenger, takes Allah and His messenger as a guardian, as a protector. وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, and those who believe, فَإِنَّ حِزْبَ اللَّهِ هُمُ الْغَالِبُونَ, and indeed the party of Allah, they are the ones who are victorious. When I translated this ayah, I was thinking about another ayah where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, نُوَلِّهِ مَا تَوَلَّى, we turn him to that which he has turned. Famous ayah. وَمَنْ يُشَاقِقِ الرَّسُولِ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا تَبَيَّنَ الْهُدَى وَيَتَّبِعْ غَيْرَ سَبِيلِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ نُوَلِّهِ مَا تَوَلَّى وَنُصْلِهِ جَهَنَّمَ وَسَاءَتْ مَصِيرًا. Whomsoever opposes the messenger of Allah and he follows the path other than the path of the believers, we will turn him to that which he has turned, and we will burn him in a fire. وَنُصْلِهِ جَهَنَّمَ, and what an evil abode is it. And I translate it as وَمَنْ يَتَوَلَّى, whoever turns. This is incorrect translation. This is an incorrect translation, and it's relating to the tafsir. So it is upon me to clarify. It is upon me to clarify. And this is the way of Ahlul Hadith. We become happy because now I'm not going to continue upon that error. If it is a mistake, of that nature, whereby you truly didn't know, and it's not maybe sabqul lisan, then if it is a mistake of that nature, whereby you truly made a mistake, you understood incorrectly, then you are rectified. Alhamdulillah, you will not continue upon that error. And when you are rectified, then also the people are saved from that error, because they are going to act upon what you have conveyed. Watch your tongue. Watch your tongue. Watch what you say, because it can place you in a difficult position. The Prophet ﷺ says in the hadith of Abu Hurairah, "Inna al-abd, verily the servant, yatakallamu bi kalima, he utters a word, one word. He doesn't even pay much attention to what he's saying. ما يتبين ما فيها يزل بها في النار أبعد ما بين المشرق والمغرب." He falls into the hellfire a distance further than al-mashriq wal-maghrib, the east and the west. So on the way of Ahlul Hadith wal Athar is that we are open for rectification, because we need to be humble. This is the deen of Allah. And you don't want to be from amongst those الذين يتقولون على الله. And don't make ta'weel when you make a mistake. No, I meant this, no, I meant that. That is a common thing amongst du'at wa tulab al-ilm. No, I meant this, and if you look at it from this angle, I meant that. You made a mistake, khalas. I made a mistake. I was never kamil, so I made a mistake. أنا أتراجع. انتهى الأمر. أما بعد, we continue with our topic, Wala Wal Bara, love and hate, association and disassociation. أهل السنة والجماعة يرون أن الموالاة في الله لها مقتضيات وحقوق يجب أن يؤديها المسلم حتى يكمل إسلامه وإيمانه وينجو من الوقوع في شراك الكفر. They view that al-muwalat fillah, that loving for the sake of Allah, establishing al-muwalat, then it has muqtadayat, things that are necessitated by it, and rights which is upon the believer, the Muslim, أن يؤديها, that he fulfills it, that he carries it out. So when you have this, when you establish al-muwalat, then that belief, it necessitates certain affairs, and when carrying out these affairs, يَكْمُلُ إِسْلَامُهُ, the Islam of the Muslim becomes complete. وَإِيمَانُهُ, and his iman. وَيَنْجُوَ مِنَ الْوُقُوعِ فِي شِرَاكِ الْكُفْرِ, and he is saved from falling into the trap of kufr. Minha, from these things which are necessitated by al-muwalat, is al-hijratu min bilad al-kufri ila bilad al-muslimin. Is that we make hijrah. Is that we make hijrah from the lands of the kufr to the lands of the Muslimin. Al-hijrah wajibah. It's compulsory for a Muslim to make hijrah and go and live with the Muslimun. However, due to situations, some people are exempted. يستثنى من ذلك المستضعف, the one who is weak, who does not have the means to undertake this journey, this hijrah. ومن لم يستطيع الهجرة لأسباب شرعية, and also he does not have the ability to undertake this hijrah due to أسباب شرعية, legislated reasons, then he is ma'dhur. Then he is ma'dhur. But you need to establish this ruling within your heart, and you must have the desire. And if Allah opens up for you a way to make hijrah and go and live with the Muslims, and you do not have a greater role to play in that bilad al-kufr, then you should make hijrah. It's something beautiful that you walk and all around you are Muslims. All around you are Muslims. It's something beautiful. And this is what we need to yearn for. ثانيا, the second affair is الانضمام إلى جماعة المسلمين, is that you join and you connect with the group of the Muslimin, the Jama'ah, وعدم التفرق عنه. If you're not able to make hijrah, know that there is a Jama'ah and you need to stick to that Jama'ah. وعدم التفرق عنه, and that you do not split away from it. So when you study the Deen of Allah, you start off, you graduate, doesn't matter where you graduate. When you go back to your country, when you go back to your city, when you go back to your area, if there are Salafiyun, انضم بهم, join them. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وكونوا مع الصادقين. Be with those who are truthful. Be with them. And very important, don't challenge those who are in authority, from the senior du'at and those who have established a da'wah when you were still wearing diapers. Respect that authority. Wallahi, there is khair in that. There is khair in that. So join your jama'ah and don't break up. Do not cause tafarruq. Do not cause tafarruq. Always have the hum of al-ijtima'. Yadullahi ma'al jama'ah. Be with the Salafis. Even if you have to swallow some pride or some, you're going to maybe be belittled in some way. But I don't believe that your Salafi brothers will belittle you, but it might be something that is going to be of some belittlement to you personally, and that's how you view it maybe. And maybe in reality it's not even like that. Have patience. Swallow it. If you want to be a da'iyah, a caller to Allah, you're going to have to take some blows. You're going to have to take some blows. Things are not going to go your way. You're going to have to take some blows. Whether the blows are from Ahlul Bid'ah or from your own brothers, maybe due to misunderstanding, ila akhiri, you're going to have to take some blows. But always remember, the khair, the da'wah, make the da'wah your objective. Make the da'wah your objective. Don't think with your emotions. Take in consideration the da'wah and the maslahah of the da'wah. I can be belittled. I can become poor. I can be mocked. I can be beaten. But the da'wah needs to go forward. The da'wah needs to go forward. وَتَعَاوُنْ مَعَهُمْ عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى. And that we aid one another upon al-birr wa-taqwa, upon righteousness and taqwa Allah Azza wa Jal. وَالْأَمْرِ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَالنَّهْيِ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ. And that we command with the good and we prohibit the evil. These are from the characteristics of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. And when you have, after you utter Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, it is necessitated by that statement, Al-Wala Wal Bara. And Al-Wala Wal Bara, it necessitates that you be with the Jama'at al-Muslimin and that you stay away from at-tafriqah. The thing is, Abdullah bin Abbas radiallahu anhu, with regards to the ayah, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يَوْمَ تَبْيَضُّ وُجُوهُ وَتَسْوَدُّ وُجُوهُ. On that day of Qiyamah, تَبْيَضُّ وُجُوهُ, there will be faces that will be bright. He says, تَبْيَضُّ وُجُوهُ أَهْلِ السُّنَّةِ وَالْجَمَاعَةِ. The faces of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah will be bright on that day. وَتَسْوَدُّ وُجُوهُ, and the faces of Ahlul Bid'ah وَالتَّفْرِقَةِ, their faces will be black on that day. To show us the virtue and the khair of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, Ahlul Hadith wal Athar. ثالثا أن يحب للمسلمين ما يحبه لنفسه. That he loves for the Muslims that which he loves for himself. من الخير ودفع الشر, from good and warding off evil. وعدم السخرية منهم, and not mocking at them. والحرص على محبتهم, and always striving to love them. ومجالستهم ومشاورتهم, and sitting with them and consulting with them. لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. Your belief is not complete. There's nothing in your iman until you love for your brother that which you love for yourself. You love that you be treated well. You love that you be taken care of. You love that you are considered. Therefore you should also love to consider and take care and love your Muslim brothers. بالمفهوم المخالفة, with the opposite meaning of this hadith. Or the opposite meaning of this hadith is that you must dislike for your brother that which you dislike for yourself. So you dislike that people mock you. You dislike that the people oppress you. You dislike that the people cause fitna with regards to you. Now you, ya ayyuhal Muslim, you must dislike it in the right of your Muslim brother. Al-Muslimu man salima al-Muslimun min lisani wa yadi. The Muslim is the one, the other Muslims, they are free and saved from his tongue, his head. Oppression, whether it is through the tongue, oppression, whether it is through the head. Rabi'an, these are all the things that are necessitated by al-muwalat wal-mu'adat. عدم التجسس عليهم أو نقل أخبارهم وأسرارهم إلى عدوهم وكف الأذى عنهم وإصلاح ذات بينهم. That you do not spy on them. أو نقل أخبارهم, you do not spy on the Muslims. ونقل أخبارهم, and you do not convey the information and the secrets to the enemy. وَكَفُّ الْأَذَى عَنْهُمْ, and you do not harm them. وَإِصْلَاحُ ذَاتِ بَيْنِهِمْ, and you always strive to reconcile between them, especially those who are, who have qaraba, family. People have qaraba, they have family ties. You strive always to connect with them. We should really thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for granting us the opportunity to be in His house. Baytun min buyutillah. People are drowning in fitna. People are drowning in fasad. People are drowning in sin. And they choose that for themselves. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved us. This is a ni'mah. We could have been anywhere, but Allah chose that we be guided and that we be in the masjid. This is a great ni'mah. This is a sign that Allah wants good for us. And we should really make it a point that whenever we feel that, I know most of the brothers, we stay scattered here in Gauteng. Do not let days and months pass when you do not come and visit the Jama'ah. When you do not come and visit your father, Shaykh Sameeh. This will revive you. Whenever you feel that, hey, I've been too long away from my brothers, come and visit and be with the ikhwah. كونوا مع الصادقين, and this will revive you. Read Kitab al-Tawheed. This will revive you upon Iman and Tawheed. People are celebrating, and it's not going to benefit them. Allah has saved us. Walillahi alhamd. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us until we die from fitna and fasad. خامسا نصرة المسلمين على أعدائهم. That we aid the Muslims. We aid them against the enemies of Islam. We aid the Muslims in fighting the enemies. وعن متخلي عنهم البتة. And we do not desert the Muslims ever. We do not desert them. You do not desert your Muslim brother. Al-Muslim, as the Prophet ﷺ described, لا يخذل أخاه. He does not desert his Muslim brother, but rather he stands with him. He stands with him upon the haqq. He stands with him upon the haqq. في حال العسر واليسر. He stands with him in times of difficulty as well as in times of prosperity. Why is it that we must go and seek aid, whether it is tabarru'at for some projects, whether it is tabarru'at, personal assistance that we need? Why is it that there's even a need for us to approach Ahlul Bid'ah? Me, I don't approach Ahlul Bid'ah. We don't have concern for one another. I know of stories of, where Ahlul Bid'ah, they give out a helping hand easily. And then we find Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, they're still sitting there at the back. To give one story, an individual, he lost a child. This is a true story. He lost a child. And the people who reached out to him, were Ahlul Bid'ah and assistants. Whilst his own brothers know of his condition, and they did not ask, how can I be of assistance? The person is in need, what must he do? You also have some honor. He's not going to, here it's coming without asking, and here he's going to have to ask. Why is it that we don't aid one another? Remember the Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim. Imagine I must give my wife to another brother, or one of my wives to another brother. Yeah, that's very difficult, huh? That's like over here. Giving some money is like over here, But the Sahaba, they were prepared, to do the ultimate sacrifice. Why are we not emulating them? A lot of brothers, they always wait until someone asks them. If someone is muhtaram, before he can ask, you must assist him. The hadith with the Prophet ﷺ, and you can only do what is in your ability. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. من حسن إسلام المرء، what's the hadith? من كان يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر فليكرم ضيفه فليكرم جاره. Let's talk about the jar. Whoever believes in Allah and the last day should honor his neighbor. Right? Now what's the ultimate honoring of your neighbor? Is that when you see he has in a difficulty, right? And before he can even open his mouth, you assist him. Save him from that embarrassment. Have you no aql? Can you not see We have too much hubb dunya in our hearts. Love for the dunya. What's the word? Digressing, huh? But this is a reality. We are far. We still have to come a long way in terms of, this affair. Digress, English people here? Digress, right, no? Don't challenge my English. I'm joking. والشدة والرخاء, and we assist the Muslims, we assist one another in hardship and in prosperity في كل مكان وزمان. ومعاونتهم بالنفس, and we help them even if it is with our physical bodies. والمال, sometimes you don't have wealth, but then you physically help your brother. أو lisan, defend your Muslim brother. ومشاركتهم في أفراحهم, and you participate in their happiness. You are happy for them. You are happy for them. Why is it that when you see a Muslim, he is happy or some khair came to him, then you become sad and you have hasad? This is something very dangerous. When you see khair in your Muslim, say MashaAllah, Tabarakallah. When you see khair in your Muslim brother, be happy for him. Be happy for him. Because the moment you are angry, then you are opposing the decree of Allah. Allah has decreed that for him. When you see any khair in your Muslim brother, and you feel that he doesn't deserve it, so then you are objecting to the decree of Allah. Allah has given it to him. Allah hasn't given it to you. And from the pillars of Iman is that you must have Al-Iman bil-Qadr, that you believe in the divine decree, the good and the bad of it. ومشاركة بها. سادسا أداء حقوقهم, that you fulfill their rights. في عيادة المريض, that when they are sick you visit them, and that you follow their janais. والرفق بهم, and that you are soft and gentle with them. والرقة, and kind. والذل, and humble. وخفض الجناح لهم, and that you show humility by dropping the wing of submission for them. This is the asl when it comes to your interaction with your Muslim brothers. الرفق واللين. الرفق واللين will not enter into something except that it will beautify it, as the Prophet ﷺ said. And shidda will not enter into something except that it will render it ugly. If you have the rifq wal leen with the people, it will place beauty in your relationship. It will render your relationship beauty. But if you have shidda, and you always display shidda, it will render your relationship ugly. The asl is that you have a rifq wal leen with your Muslim brothers. And if there is a need for you to have shidda, yes, then you have shidda, and that is hikmah. Al-hikmah is what we say in mahal, that you put everything, wisdom. What is wisdom? Not I'm old and I have life experience. No. Wisdom is what we say in mahal, is that you put everything in its place. And how are you going to put everything in its place? It is through knowledge. So you can be young, but you are wise. And then you can be old, and you are someone who is void of hikmah, wisdom. Because you do not know what to do, when to do. So وضع الشيء في محله. الرفق or lean is the asl. And if there's a need for you to have shidda, you will have shidda. Right? That is hikmah. والدعاء والاستغفار لهم, and you make dua for them and you seek forgiveness for the Muslims Wassalam alayhim, and you greet them with peace and salutations. Assalam alayhim, with peace upon them. Warifq bidu'afaihim, and you are kind and soft towards the weak amongst them, you help them. Wa'admu ghishim, you do not deceive them fil mu'amala. We have mentioned that hadith in this afternoon. Right? Al-Muslim ala shuruti. Muslim is upon his shurut. Why? Because he's not a deceiving person. A Muslim don't deceive. Man faman ghashana falaysa minna. Whoever deceives, then is not from us. So don't deceive your Muslim brothers. Rectify yourself. Make tawbah. You must have a nasiha for your Muslim brothers. What is a nasiha? You are sincere towards them by giving them the haqq, by giving them the reality. أو أكل أموالهم بالباطل, and that you do not eat their wealth بالباطل, falsely. أو البيع على بيعهم, or you interfere in their business transactions. Someone has transacted with another, then you come and say, I'll give you 100 and less. Do not interact, or I'll give you 100 and more from both sides. أو الخطبة على خطبة أخيه المسلم, or proposing upon a proposal of your Muslim brother. So if you know your brother went there and the proposal was accepted, and now you find out that this lady is beautiful, and that this lady is most probably going to choose me because I'm more handsome and I'm more money, right? So you feel that you stand a chance to get, to out khitbah your brother. Then this is haram. This is haram. وَعَدْمِ هَجْرِهِ فَوْقَ ثَلَاثَ لَيَالٍ, and what is necessitated by Wala Wal Bara, that you do not make hajr, you do not boycott your brother for more than 3 nights. These are all necessitated. So when we learn this mas'ala, we learn the rights of the believers. And we also learn the rights of the kuffar which they have over us. And we have mentioned from the first rights which they have over us is that we call them to al-Islam. We call them to Tawheed. سابعا عدم انتهاك حرمات المسلمين, that you do not transgress the sanctity of the Muslims. من تكفيرهم, you do not transgress the rights which they have over you by rendering them as kuffar, declaring them as kuffar. من قال لأخيه يا كافر, whoever says to his brother O kafir, فقد باء به أحدهم, then that will apply on one of them. Indicating, as the Prophet says, in this hadith, that if you say to your brother ya kafir O kafir, then that will apply to one of the two. If he's truly deserving of it, it will apply on him. If he's not deserving of it, it will come back. So do not violate the rights of your brothers. وَاسْتِحْلَالِ دِمَائِهِمْ, and do not make their blood halal. And this is the way of the Khawarij, the likes of Daesh, Al-Qaeda, and other than them. They take the law into their own hands. You cannot take the law into your own hands. This is fawda. We also have our Khawarij here in South Africa, like Pagat. This is a Khariji movement. And then we have other Khawarij who ascribe to these international groups like Daesh, Al-Qaeda. And khuruj is not just that you go and fight and shoot guns, no. Al-khuruj is even with your tongue, even with your hand, with your pen. If you are revolting against the ruler by speaking out against him with your keyboard, then we say you are laptop khariji. But you are khariji. from the people in South Africa, foremost who are shad على الخوارج is Shaykhuna Farouk Ahmad wa Shaykhuna Jamil Adams. These are from the du'at who are in the forefront in refuting the Khawarij. They are in the forefront in refuting the Khawarij. How can someone come and accuse our father of being a Khariji? You are barking up the wrong tree. This is what you call this, a low blow. This is a low blow. They have nothing to stand on, so now they throw accusations. Walillahi alhamd, when I was in Medina, at that time, there was a lot of juhud against the Khawarij in the Mamlaka. A lot of juhud against Ikhwan al-Muslimin. You know, ulama having muhadarat, dawrat. That's why I hate the Khawarij. I hate Ikhwan al-Muslimin. I free myself from them. It's like in my blood. If I reject this dalal, this misguidance. Or you violate a'radihim. You are not allowed to violate the rights, the honor, and the dignity of a Muslim brother. Nor are you allowed to violate his wealth, or to oppress him, or to swear him, or to curse him, or to transgress alayhim, against them, or su'ud dhan bihim, or to have su'ud dhan bihim, evil thoughts of them. This is haram. You cannot have su'ud dhan bil Muslim. You always think good of the Muslims. You always think good of the Muslims. Whatever the Muslim says, especially if he's a person who has a track record, that is a Salafi and is upon good, وَلَا نَعْرِفُ مِنْ خَيْرٍ, when a kalam comes to us from him, we always look at it in a good light. In a good light. Until it becomes apparent that no, this individual, he made a mistake. We rectify him. And if he's from Ahlul Sunnah, he will retract. Have husnul dhan. So when something comes, have husnul dhan. Interpret it, understand it in a good way. Right? And give yourself some time to investigate. Because this person is from Ahlul Sunnah. And everyone, from al-hikmah is that you treat everyone accordingly. And that you mock them. This is not from Wala Wal Bara to the believers. And you're not allowed to mock them, nor are you allowed to backbite. They have rights over you. أو الوقوع في النميمة والإفساد. Or that you fall into النميمة, gossiping, والإفساد, and corruption فيما بينهم, with regards to their affairs. Learning this mas'ala will make you a better Muslim, because you have understood the rights of your Muslim brother. You know what's our problem? We just want our rights to be fulfilled. And this is a common thing with the Khawarij. We want our rights. We want our rights. You must do and you must give. What about the rights of the Wali al-Amr over you, which has been sanctioned and commanded? You know, it was commanded by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Alaykum bis-sam wa ta'ah, wa in ta'ammara alaykum 'abdun. Even if a servant, a slave is made a Wali al-Amr over you, it is upon you to listen and obey. And that when you see something you hate, you have patience. And if you are in a position to give nasiha, you give nasiha. فَلْيَكُنْ بَيْنَكَ وَبَيْنَهُ. Let it be private. Go in. فَلْيَخْلُوا بِهِ. And this was the understanding of our Salaf Salih, Ridwanullah alayhim. The following mas'ala that we're going to take is matters in the life of a Muslim which is important for him to consider and to observe, and that he adhere to it so that he may not fall into kufr and muwafaqatu ahlihi, and agreeing with the kuffar, being in correspondence with them. Right? And all of this is necessitated through al-mu'adat. Through al-mu'adat. So now we have taken what is necessitated by al-mu'alat, and in our following masala we're going to take what is necessitated by al-mu'adat. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us understanding and to grant us the tawfiq to learn His deen, and to learn His deen يعني العلم النافع, beneficial knowledge. والعلم النافع ما يوافق الحق, that which is in accordance with the truth, that which has a dalil, that which the prophets were upon, that which the Sahaba were upon, that He affords us the opportunity to gain al-ilm al-nafi', beneficial knowledge, so that we may know what to do when it is required for us to do it. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us sincerity, and to grant us to act upon what we learn, and to grant us the ability to call others to what we have learned. And we make sure that whenever we speak about the deen of Allah, we make sure that we are confident and certain about it. The moment we have shak, دع ما يريبك إلى ما لا يريبك. Leave that which is doubtful for that which is not doubtful. Preserve your tongue. Preserve your tongue. نكتفي بهذا القدر، وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين، والحمد لله رب العالمين.